What's up, YouTube? This is Hunter Kevin coming back with a video, and tonight I just got done watching a new movie, Send Help. I know this movie's like a week old and it came out last Friday, but I'm just seeing it tonight. And I thought that movie was spectacular. It had some slow moments throughout, but when it got towards the end, that's when it got really good. Now, basically, this movie is about an overworked office worker, I guess intern, working in this corporate office, and then works her tail off, works hard, and does this and does that for everybody else, and helps everybody, etc. Works so hard until she thinks she's gonna get that big promotion, but it never happens, and then it's given to somebody else, and then she just gets emotional about it. And I can understand where she's coming from. I'm pretty sure we've all been there before, where you do so much for everybody else, but when it's you, then it's like everybody turning back on you, etc., etc. But other than that, like, that movie, it kind of does like teach you like a life lesson. But so we go to the scene where she's in the office overworking herself, and then they introduce the new vice president of the company, and then basically it's inherited through his dad to him. And so he invites her on a business trip, and so they're flying over the seas, and then the plane starts to get the turbulence. Well, it starts turbulating. I'm probably not describing that right, but just bear with me. But anyway, yeah, like the plane just starts going out of control, and then it catches on fire. And then on top of that, like the wind gusts are so strong, and then the big old storm comes, and then it destroys one side of the plane, and then all the air is like sucking, like it's like sucking like all the dudes out, and then they're trying to fight their way back in, and they're trying to like get a hold of Linda's seat and everything. And so Linda grabs a fork and stabs one of the dudes in his hand. But he's like, "Linda, give me your seat, give me your seat." But at the same time, though, like she is not giving up her seat for none of them. And then so the dude, he's trying I can't help but laugh because I thought it was kind of funny. He's trying to like unbuckle her seatbelt so he can like take the seat. Basically, he's trying to save himself. And so, like, after she stabs him through the hand with the fork, the dude that's grabbing on to the other guy's leg, he kicks him in the mouth, and most of his teeth starts flying out his mouth. And this is when he gets thrown into the air first, and then the guy who got stabbed in the hand with the fork, he gets sucked out of the plane. And so the plane crashes in the ocean, and then she's trying to like stay up surface, and till the plane just starts sinking down very slowly, kind of similar to how the Titanic sunk. So she's still like strapped to her seatbelt's jammed for a little bit. So she gets it unbuckled, and she's washed up on this island. Then she finds her boss. I think she found him like a day or so later, and so she did everything in her power to make sure this dude survived. Still wasn't appreciative, however you want to say it. He's still complaining, still whining, moaning, groaning. Throughout the movie, this guy is a complete snake in the grass. He's always been a snake, always was a snake. This woman went above and beyond for this dude to make sure he would survive, make sure he was well fed, make sure he was well nurtured. She fed the dude, she hunted food for the guy, making sure he ate, making sure he slept good, making sure he had shelter. And this is when the life lesson comes along, where no matter how much you go above and beyond for people, they still aren't satisfied, is not satisfied, however you want to say it. They are never satisfied, no matter what you do for people. This is what this movie taught me. So, I've always like seen this throughout life. Even as a child, I've always noticed this, seen this, experienced it. But yeah, this movie does teach a life lesson. And then at the end of the movie, getting into the movie, I said when it got towards the end, he finds this house that's sitting on a hill. Well, before I get to that, she when she did go hunting, she hunted down this wild boar. Then they had protein for like a week or so. So they ate the boar up. They're having heart-to-heart conversations, and then she's opening up to him, he's opening up to her. You would think it would turn to like maybe like a love story for like the moment. Maybe they're starting to like each other. You think it's like, you start thinking maybe it's going somewhere in life, but nah. No, not at all. Cause his fiance in the movie, she actually finds them stuck on that island. And so when they take the boat to where Linda was, they're basically looking for them. So she finally finds them. They're on the island, and so she was hoping to stay on the island just a little bit longer because she don't want to leave just yet. So they're walking down this cliff. Walking down the side of this cliff. So she's pretending like she has to tie her shoe, and so the guy's fiance, she's walking like on the edge of the cliff, just the same as the guy who was driving the boat. The little I think he's Korean. I think the little Korean dude. He's behind her. She's behind them, and so she's like hanging off the edge of the cliff. And then on top of that, she's hanging for dear life, and then she's begging Linda to help pull her back up. So was the other guy, begging her to please help them. She's dangling from the cliff, trying to come back up, but she refuses to. At first, like, she felt bad about not helping them, but basically she just let them both fail to their death, basically. And so the guy finds his fiance buried in the sand, and so he finds her buried in the sand, and then he just sees her arms like sticking out from the sand, and then because he notices her because of that ring that she had on, so he starts crying, and because he's thinking that he's thinking that Linda killed him, but she didn't. Well, I guess you can say in a way, but not necessarily. So he hunts her down, and he has that knife in his hand. So he's trying to chase her down, starts attacking her. Well, first he confronts her about what he's seen and what had happened. Then she tries to run away, and so he starts chasing her down, and then this is when the violence happened, like the real violence. It wasn't as gory, but this is when the violence starts happening. These two, oh my gosh, that's when it got wild. Okay, she bites him in his shoulder, like bites some skin off him, and then he rips her hair out, like to where you can almost see like her skull or whatever. Then he gouges like one of her eyes out, and then I think he had stuck her face in like some feces. I'm guessing that's what it was. I don't know if that was mud or if that was doo-doo. I don't know for sure. But he had stuck her face in something. I don't know what it was exactly. But they were just going at it back and forth. And then she like hits him upside the head with a rock. And so this is when, after he thought that he had knocked her out, that's when he finds this house that's sitting on the hill or sitting on the edge of the cliff. And then he's going into the house. He's thinking there's somebody there. Come to find out, like, she already had been to that house. That's how the knife got washed up. She didn't make that knife. No. That's how she ended up with the knife, because she already found it in the house, because she had visited the house first. That was the twist. She already had been to that house before. That's how she ended up with the knife. It wasn't washed up on that island like where they were stranded at. And then so as he goes inside, she's already sitting behind the cameras watching his every move and what he's doing. And so this is when it gets really twisted. Basically, it just shows flashbacks on what happened, on how this happened, how that happened, etc. How she already had known that house was there. She remembered the code on how to get inside the house. She was eating all this fresh fruit that she had found in the house. She found the weapons. She had the knife, all that. So basically, that was already. She already had everything planned out, because she's telling him over the intercom as she's watching him through the cameras about how they could have been rescued a long time ago, but she wanted to stay longer. And this is when it starts teaching life lessons about how she tried to help him, and yet he still treated her like crap and all this and that. And then after they start going at it again, she pulls out a shotgun on him, and then that's when he's doing the fake begging and pleading and crying again. And then she realized that he had like a weapon behind his back. It was like one of the bull horns from one of those statues that was displayed inside the house. So he had that behind his back, so she already knew that he was going to do something sneaky again. So that's when he tried to come at her. I think he had knocked the gun out her hand, and then she tried to get it back, and then he ends up taking the gun, but he couldn't. But he couldn't cock it or whatever. Well, I think it didn't have no bullets in it, one. So he tried to shoot her with it. That didn't work. So she took one of those. I guess it was a sword. Oh no, it was a golf club. And then she whacks the gun out of his hand, and then she beats him with it in his stomach. And then as she starts to whack his eye out, it cuts straight to her playing golf. So basically, she got what she deserved in a good way. She got her recognition. She got what was meant to be hers. And then at the very end of the movie, she's looking into the camera, and then she's saying, because it kind of stuck with me, like when she said it, like no one is coming to save you, so you better save yourself. Now that is true to an extent. I believe Jesus saves us all, but when it comes to like temporary earthly things, no, nobody's not gonna save you. No man can save you. And that's when that stuck with me, when she said it about how nobody's gonna save you, so save yourself. And I understood what she meant by that, and I actually did agree with that, because like I said, we've all been in situations where like we've helped people, but yet when we ask for help, or we get the back we get put on the back burner, or they turn their back on us, etc. Or there's always some kind of excuse. And then that's why, like, it's like for some of us, the older we get, we just rather be a loner than try to be involved with the crowd, because being around the crowd isn't gonna necessarily mean that those people care about you or your well-being, because that's not always the case. Because you can be around a bunch of total strangers at a party and then not ever see those people again, because you're just around them for the moment. But the people don't care about what you got going on in your life. They ain't gonna help you like when it's they ain't gonna help you like when you need help. I mean, they might need help for something, and then see, it's like some of us have that kindness to where we feel like we have to help that person, but then again, it's like in the back of your mind, it's like you don't want to do it because you know that person's not gonna return a favor, even though some of us don't even worry about that type of stuff. But at the same time, it's like why help somebody when you know that they're not gonna help you, but yet you already know this, that in your heart you know that's the right thing to do. So that's when the movie had taught me like that life lesson. But other than that, I thought it was pretty good. I mean, it could have been more violent, maybe a little bit of gore in it, but it was still pretty good. It told a good story, I think. But yeah, y'all check it out if y'all ain't seen it yet. Send Help, now playing in theaters. This is Hunter Camel signing out. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, tap that bell for all post notifications of my videos. Until then, I am out. Peace.